Belief. Green Bay Wacky is alive. Green Bay Wacky lives. Long live Green Bay Wacky. Long live Green Bay Wacky. Congratulations. All right, so why am I saying that? Why? I mean, making light of a situation, but it's a real serious situation. The homie Green Bay Wacky from Wisconsin was threatened. There was a video, what I'm saying, threats was made towards his life, by somebody online that he was trying to help. But Green Bay Wacky lives. He is alive. I can attest to that, I think. But anyway, Green Bay Wacky lives, and so will you if you understand what I'm about to tell you. When you encounter people online, sometimes, we find people, lost souls, people who need help, folks that are going through things, people that are experiencing stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's a situation where you have to assess if you're not really able to handle that situation and counteract that or interact with the person, in a way where you really can help them and understand. Sometimes it's best to back up. What's going on, Justice Hambert? Drop the like, stop by, support. Thank you for stopping by for the support. This is about what you do if you're threatened online by somebody. Obviously, people get threatened online. Green Bay Wacky was threatened online. Anybody knows about Green Bay Wacky, he was threatened and whatnot. Yeah, this should be fun. Green Bay Wacky does live. This should be fun. All I'm saying is this. If you encounter folks online and they seem a little out there, you know what I'm saying? They seem like they're a little reckless, like they're a little violent, like they're going to go into some other crazy stuff. You got to ask yourself a question. Am I qualified for this particular situation? Hello to dark matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Green Bay Wacky is still alive. Kudos to him, right? So my thing is this. There's a lot of troubled souls out there. I'm from New York, so I know a lot about troubled souls and people being out there in the world. Now, if you're online and somebody happens to threaten you and come at you, what's up, Caroline? I Firehouse, Size Dad, Fury, Patch. Yes, Green Bay Wacky is alive. He lives. He lives. He's not dead, and nobody's going to kill Green Bay Wacky. Nothing's going to happen to Green Bay Wacky. I think Green Bay Wacky is safe to say he's going to die of natural causes, But yes, Green Bay Wacky lives. Easy Entertainment, appreciate you for being here. This is really about what you do when you get threatened online. First, you got to assess the threat, whether or not this is, a real threat. Let's try this again. Oh, okay. That's something else. That's dark matter doing something else. Like I said, this is not clickbait. This is just me saying this for real because, like I said, I seen Green Bay Wacky. What's going on, Cav 7? I seen Green Bay Wacky. He was worried about it the other night, last night. He's worried about whether or not somebody's going to come after him and do him in and online threats and stuff like that. Yeah, online threats do amount to nothing, Patch, but sometimes you have to take the threat seriously, especially if people get a hold of your personal information or people, make the way to your house, or they say they're going to come to your state and whatnot and stuff like that. So you want to assess the threat. You want to see if this is something that's credible before you start to panic and before you start to really go into a situation, to a frenzy and stuff like that. And if it's a situation where you feel like it's a credible threat, you have options. You can go the vigilante route. You can, clip up and go after that, which I don't suggest, but that's what people may do. You can, you got internet gangsters out there, and then you have the route where you can go to the FBI, which I encourage people. If you're a civilian and you get online threats and it's a credible threat and somebody's going to do something and they have your information and they're going to come after you, I suggest as a civilian, go to the police, go to the authorities. There's nothing wrong with going to the civilian. As a civilian, going to your local, state, federal, offices and letting them know what's going to happen and how this transpires. Don't panic. Whatever you do, don't panic. Don't show the steer. Pat, some people would prefer to clip up and deal with that. We have the internet grannies that will lay the smack down on style. Well, yeah, Brenda, that happens too. You can lay the smack down on a person and do that, but be careful. Like I said, there's some folks out there that's want to have their Second Amendment rights, basically, to the full extent. I don't agree with that. I believe everyone should be some sort of protection, but yeah, that's assess the situation first. Listen, assess the situation, assess the threat. Because there's people out there that are threatened by, folks and whatnot, and they feel some type of way and they want to get froggy and they might want to leap in your direction, but if nobody's having any real credible situation coming your way and they seem like it, yeah, Texans love their guns. They love their guns. But like I said, don't shoot anybody. don't act on something that's just a threat, because a threat is just a threat. A lot of times when it comes to threats, you know, if they could do something, you know, they wouldn't have to threaten you from behind the computer or the screen or things like that, or whatever the case may be. And to my friend Greenbay Wacky, we got you. We're not just going to let anything happen to you, anything kind of strange for a piece of change. You know, saying, yeah, I'm from Brooklyn and I love my guns. Oh my God, listen, we're not going to talk about Brooklyn and guns, but, you know, things happen. My thing is this, and I tell anybody out there, Greenbay Wacky is alive and you'll live too if you understand this. Assess the situation. Sometimes people are just talking out of their neck. Sometimes people are just disgruntled. Sometimes people are mentally disturbed. You know, there are a lot of folks out there who are troubled. So be careful. Proceed with caution when you see a troubled person, you know, online. You know, I know people have a lot of interesting stories. I know people can be engaging and we may feel sorry for folks at times. But sometimes you have to be careful, because the more information that you put out there and, you know, the more, you know, you endear yourself to a person, sometimes that can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes kids need to, yeah, dog matter. Sometimes folks need to get whipped up on and whatnot. But, you know, I don't know if anybody remember American Sniper. Like I said, just remember American Sniper. We're going to leave it at that. What's up, June Gall? Thank you for coming through. They could also be trolls as well. Yeah, some people are trolls, but that's where the assessment comes. Hey, Molly Dolly, thank you for coming through. That's where the assessment comes. Before you respond, before you jump into it and go into a frenzy and start getting crazy and start worrying about it and start calling your friends and getting ready to clip up and do all this other crazy stuff, assess the threat. Go to the person's profile. Find out if it's a real person. Find out if the person is troubled. Find out what's going on with that particular individual. Now, if they ready to do their thing, then you have to do what you have to do. And I mean, I prefer people going to the authorities. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Just remember that. That's true. That is true, Dark Matter. You know, I give you that. It's just a situation where, like I said, this is not Greenbay Wacky in an isolated incident. He's not alone. There are people on this same chat who probably have been threatened and, you know, had all kind of people say crazy stuff to them about what's going to happen to them and all these other nonsensical things. All I can really tell you folks out there is, first off, don't show the fear. Don't be afraid. Don't be worrying about whether somebody going to come at you and get you and snatch you up and do something crazy to you and whatnot. Like I said, first go to the person's profile, look at the video, assess the person, look in their eyes, see what they're saying, look at the real validity of their threats, look at the capabilities, and, you know, get, you know, like a consensus of what's going on. You know, I have no problem in my way. The foot wants to come in my, yeah. Well, Patch, we don't want to threaten you. Like I said, nobody. I know there's some folks out there that's wanting that to come your way, and for those folks that are ready for the threat, the thing you have to assess is whether or not, if it's a credible threat and it's coming your way. What's going on, Lava Monster? And it's coming your way. You got to remember, you got family, you got friends, you got people that can be hurt if the threat is credible. And I'll tell you folks out there, if you're not law enforcement, if you're not prepared for that particular type of thing, do not engage. If you are a civilian, I repeat, if you're threatened online and it's a credible threat and somebody's coming your way and you are a civilian, this is what I suggest to you. If you're a civilian, call your local FBI offices and you make the report. You know, that's what it is. Like I said, don't go into the vigilante stage. Don't go trying to, you know, go seek vengeance and whatnot. And if anything, what you do, don't go trying to make any videos and going back and forth and starting an online war. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's just what it is. I mean, I seen the situation and I seen Greenbay Wacky going crazy on the live stream last night and whatnot. Yeah, like Michael Skeen is saying, don't try to be a hero. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to get yourself hurt. If anybody, like I said again, remember American Sniper. Watch the movie, read the book, understand the story. You know, it's just what it is with that. Like I said, if somebody threatens you online, before you start going crazy about it and, you know, getting uptight and letting folks see that you know, really, you know, worried about this stuff, assess whether or not the threat is real. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to give power to somebody just threatening you and saying all kind of crazy stuff like that. If somebody threatens Mel, it's like I tell them, look, if you ain't coming through that door, if you don't know where I'm at, you know what I'm saying, I ain't taking you all that serious. If you don't have my personal information, if you're not showing up to my job, if you're not coming for me, then don't send for me and don't worry about that. But I say this to folks out there because, like I said, sometimes, you know, people get a little bit, you know, upset. People get a little flustered. People get a little worried, you know, about what may or possibly, you know, could happen to them, you know, from this online thing. I know it's scary, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't get that call that much, but okay, that's something else. There's something else with dark matter there. Like I said, don't worry if anything. Like I said, and then also too, if you get threatened, and you feel like it's something that you need to address, don't be afraid to let people close to the situation know what's going on. Don't be afraid to let somebody know, just in case something does happen to you. You know what I'm saying? But anything, don't move in a haste. What I say, if you get threatened and something does happen and it transpires and pops off, don't get emotional. Don't act off emotions. Sometimes people get all emotional and get all a little flustered, and they start panicking and stuff. And yeah, reach out to somebody, but reach out to somebody that's gonna help you. I was there in the matches and it's a good time. Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, if you're threatened with a good time, Brother Dark, then sometimes you're gonna have to go through with that good time. Nothing interesting just happens to me. Hashtag you're jealous. Well, Llama Monster, just be glad that nobody is threatening you, and in all seriousness though, there are people out there that are dealing with mental health issues, so you never know how far a person is willing to go and how far a person is willing to take it. So I just say, like I said, again, proceed with caution. Don't try to be a hero. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. If anything, don't get online trying to do a little online war and whatnot. Some people might be trying to do it to antagonize the person and get the views up. Yeah, you maybe get your views up, but also you get a funeral bill up too. You don't want that. Well, I'm East Coast, he's the West Coast, and we're going to have to figure it out. Yeah, well, if it's an East Coast, West Coast war, like I said, I don't suggest that, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? If anything, learn from Biggie and Tupac. We'll leave that alone at that. Big guys, what's going on to you? Yes, I know you're wondering and worried about Greenbay Wacky. Greenbay Wacky is alive. Yes, there's a lot of crazy people out there. Yes, you have to be careful who you endear yourself to. You have to be careful what happens and whatnot. Big guys, Tosh time. I see a whole bunch of heavy hitters in here. Like I said, people concerned about Greenbay Wacky. Greenbay Wacky is going to live, and so will you too. The online threats are the online threats. Don't take these people seriously. Unless they're coming through to your house, unless you got shots coming through your window, don't take them seriously. You know what I'm saying? And it comes down to this. How it percolates and formulates is this. If you're a civilian and you're in a situation where somebody is threatening you and it seems like a credible threat, don't try to be a hero. Don't try to be the vigilante. Don't put on your mask and your tights trying to go to see if you can get justice. Don't put on your black ski mask and trying to go after somebody. Like I said, save it to the professionals. There's people that deal with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? If it's a situation of terroristic threats or anything like that, let the professionals handle this particular situation. If YouTube doesn't address it and deal with it, then you may have to go to the authorities. Yes, Molly Dolly. Some people might want to throw on their spandex and they might try to get out there and be a little crime fighter, little investigator and stuff like that, trying to go after the threat. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I have to explain something to you. Explain something to me, Patch. I'm here. I put on the leopard stretch pants and two. You go. Whoa. That's funny. That's funny. Like I said, don't do it. Don't do it. First off, 95 times out of 100, YouTube won't do anything. This is true. YouTube won't do anything, maybe because they're Freds. The Fed will not do anything either. Yes, but here's the thing. The reason you want to go to YouTube, to the feds, go to the authorities, is because if it's a situation that gets serious, at least you let them know that you tried, that you put it out there. Like I said, go through the protocol, because if something happens, you want to make them do their job. As long as they don't try to do a World Star Commando. Like, yeah, that's funny. Big guys, Greenbay Wacky wants to threaten you with kisses and hugs. That's funny. Local PD only do something if the person actually shows up. Well, that's what I'm talking about, Patch. It comes to a point where if the person actually shows up, then maybe you need to go to your, local PD or, the feds if it gets to that level, depending on the type of threats and whatnot they're making. But you go to somebody. Don't try to be the hero. Don't try to take it on yourself and do something and go looking for the person, especially if that's not what you're trained to do. And if you are trained to do that, I wouldn't get online talking about what I'm going to do to somebody if you're trained to do that and go after that situation. And then also, too, prayer works. You know what I'm saying? Amen. But we'll leave it at that. It cannot be murdered. Oh my God, you like Murdoch. I threatened him with snuggles the other day, never go back to me. I had to make some changes to my channel before I start producing any content. I got some hope and insecurity. Yeah, no, you got to do what you got to do besides that. We laugh and we joke about this stuff, but the reality is, you know, just be careful when you engaging with anybody. If you see anybody suspicious or dangerous or looks like they out there doing some crazy stuff, you know, oh yeah, prayer does work, Cap 7. You know, you just want to be wary of it. If you see something strange going on, you know, be careful not to put yourself in a situation where you may actually, you know, put yourself in the line of fire of somebody who probably ain't right in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a situation where sometimes we have to back away from it. I got nasty comments from one girl who falsely accused me of disliking a video. Well, that's something different, Carolina. Somebody's disliking a video and they talking tough to you. Let them talk tough to you. But I think it should be taken serious when somebody does threaten to kill you. In all fairness, that should be taken seriously. That's not something you want to just, you know, wish away. Who is Ron Jeremy? Well, they're talking about Greenbay Wacky. You know, Ron Jeremy, aka Greenbay Wacky. So if you hear Ron Jeremy, then they're talking about Greenbay Wacky. I'm not going to get into who Ron Jeremy is, you know, on this live stream, but if you Google him, you'll find out more about who Ron Jeremy is. We'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for some folks are trolling when they say Ron Jeremy. Let's leave it at that. Ron Jeremy was also, yeah. It's what it is, Patch. It's what it is. It's out there. Oops, there it is. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we're making a lighthearted effort of this whole thing, a go of it and whatnot. And Greenbay Wacky, we're here for you. Hopefully nothing comes of the situation. In all seriousness, Greenbay Wacky, you know, we know you're going to live. We know you're going to be all right. But this is also for folks, too, out there. Don't get yourself all in a tizzy, you know what I'm saying? Don't get behind hurt or nothing like that when somebody says they're going to kill you. Yeah, he's gross. But he's a legend, Molly Dolly. He is a legend. He a legend. Girl, Ray, do you need anything, brother? Holla at me. Yeah, and that's what it is. Sometimes it's the community and whatnot, too. If you go to the community and let the community know what's going on, then maybe folks can do some things behind the scenes and talk to some folks and let some things happen. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this live stream here, too. You know, let Greenbay Wacky know we got support for him. We got love for you and whatnot. You know, like I said, ain't nothing's going to happen to you. You know, it is what it is with that. You know, like I said, folks, any of you folks, I don't want to see any of you folks get threatened or anything happen. Like I said, we love you, Greenbay Wacky, and that's what it is. There's 28,000 Google pages on him. First two is too many. Molly Dolly, that's Ron Jeremy. He's a legend. He's been out there since the 70s. You know, so like I said, you got tons of time to go into whoever he is. You know, but like I said, Greenbay Wacky, you're gonna be good. What's going on? Wow, really, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. I'm not gonna. Well, I didn't tell you. I told you to Google it. About him, but I didn't know you was actually gonna do it. You asked me who it was, so I just told you who it was. Yeah, Greenbay Wacky is it. Yeah, it's a. Oh my God, nah. But yeah, Molly Dolly, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry your mind was corrupted. Sorry about that. I'm sorry that happened. The next time I'll tell you to Google something wholesome and all that other stuff. You know, sorry you had to see that, you know. But that's what it is. What's up, boss lady Lexi? I appreciate you for coming through. I appreciate all you folks for coming through. Like I said, again, don't let the threats, anybody killing you online, take you to the point where you get all emotional and you get into a panic and you get caused up in a stir and whatnot. Yeah, Molly Dolly, I still love you and all that. I'm sorry about that, but it happens sometimes. Sometimes we see some things online that we wish we could unsee, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, some people get triggered, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but I didn't bring it up. Ron Jeremy, lookalike, Greenbay Wacky. Yeah, that's just something that just happens. Sorry about that. I can't control that, Greenbay Wacky. That's just something that's out there for you, you know, but it's like that. It's like that. And I don't know. Like I said, Greenbay Wacky's going to be alive. You know, and if anything I say is check out for his next live stream, whenever that's going to come. You know, check each other out in the chat. You know, I know folks are seeing each other and all that other stuff is happening and whatnot. Y'all got a lot of funny comments and all those kind of things. But, Mel, can you talk to us in a sexy voice? Oh, yeah, baby. How sexy do you want me to get? Oh, yeah. Sexy is enough. Nah, I don't know. Oh, yeah. That was before I started and Wacky hates me. Oh, no. Wacky doesn't hate you big guys. We all love each other in every way. But, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. In closing, I will say, you know, Green Bay, we love you. Nobody's going to do anything to you. Wish I had an orange, Molly Dolly. I do not have an orange. I will eat one, you know, just in case for you when the time comes. You know, it's all good. What's going on, Gray? I appreciate all you beautiful, kind, sexy folks for being in here. Yes, the orange time. I wish. You know, as far as things go, I'm gonna get out of here. Green Bay Wacky, we love you. Nobody's killing Green Bay Wacky. Green Bay Wacky lives, and so will you. Woo! All right, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. 20 minutes the hard way. Later. Yeah.